along the coast.
Welcome to another episode of GeekastX. I'm Jake.
And I'm Sean. Alright, first we're talking about the first impressions of the new Flash costume, which the CW released. First look at. Jake, what are your thoughts?
Well, so far I think Grant Gustin looks pretty awesome in the costume. I mean, one of my big concerns that I've voiced before was how are they going to do the little, lightning bolts on the side of his helmet, because I don't want, because in the comic books those things stand out and they're like, I forget what they're called, car things, but it looks really cool.
Ornaments? Or spoilers?
They're kind of like a spoil, maybe ornaments, I don't know. Spoiler, whatever. We're not car guys, we're geek guys.
Yeah, right.
I don't
know anything about cars.
Right. But I love that lightning bolt there. I like that. I like his helmet looks very New 52.
Right, I thought that too. I thought exactly the same thing. Like, wow, that's very New 52 looking. Obviously that looks like some red leather. I don't have a problem with that. At least it's not like crushed velvet or anything.
Right. I thought it was it is a little dark. I mean, it is dark, but it looks cool. I mean,
yeah, I'm digging how they pulled off like the practical look of the lightning bolt ear things. But one thing I don't like about it is that it looks like kind of like the lightning bolt on his chest, only around his ear, because it's like it's not filled in. It's just the circle. Yeah.
Which brings up, I know what you're saying. I do think that's cool, but that brings up a question. I'm picking up what you're putting down. We only see the head.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So what's the rest of that gonna look like? I mean, it looks like he's got like some kind of collar thing going on.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought like maybe some kind of like maybe a coat or something to make him more like aerodynamic or something.
Oh yeah.
And like when I first saw the image, I thought like when you click on it, it would like be his like whole thing, but it's just a headshot. I thought the head was just a thumbnail that you clicked and it would expand to reveal the whole suit. And I was like, oh crap. Well, I guess this looks cool. I like it so far.
Yeah, most definitely. It looks cool so far. I mean, you can definitely tell it like his forehead. There's like an outline of like a lightning bolt kind of.
Oh yeah, like
still
creased.
Going back.
The seam,
like
yeah,
crease,
the seam.
Excuse me. And
I thought he might have problems with Sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
He has a weird shaped head, so I thought the mask would look a little weird or something, but I think he wears it well, and I like the little chin part. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. I mean, he looks from right here. He looks like Barry Allen. Like he looks like my comic book impression of Barry Allen, kind of goody little two shoes, just kind of a guy that got really fast. Now he's, of course he'd make himself look kind of cool, like.
Definitely, yeah. We know from Arrow he's a huge fan of the Hood, or now he's called the Arrow, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna want to kind of be like, oh, here's a little friendly competition. I look more cool than you do, and.
Right. That is one thing that was pretty awesome. I mean, I definitely love the setup of the character. And now this just like makes it more exciting, because I mean, it's like if you or me all of a sudden got struck by lightning and had a bunch of chemicals splash all over you. Like, what would we do? Right. We would look cool.
Unless remember in Flashpoint when he just gets horribly burned.
Oh yeah, right. It's a great story. Guys, you can check out that picture of Grant Gustin at geekazoid.com. Got a nice big picture with all the details in complete HD for you.
Yes, definitely. It's beautiful. The thing that I like about it is the consistency, because it is the same costume designer from Arrow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And she's I did not know this, but it's Colleen Atwood. She's a 3-time Oscar winner.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Didn't she do Oh crap, I can't remember.
She did. She won Oscars for Memoirs of a Geisha, Chicago, and Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. That's where I think I know her name
So, I
from.
mean, I like it. I like it a lot. I'm still kind of wondering about, like, what's up with that collar thing? Is he wearing a coat? Like, what's going on there, you know? But
You know, as long as
it'll be cool.
as long as it's not crushed velvet, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's gonna have some like sweet looking. I wonder if he's gonna have some sweet running boots. You know what I mean? Or like some kind of like Michael Keaton Nike Batman turned. You know what I mean? Like, you know how Michael Keaton's Batman had the running shoes.
Yeah,
and
I mean, for those who don't know, in the original 1989 Batman movie, Michael Keaton is wearing a pair of sneakers the entire movie as Batman. I mean, obviously made to look like Batman, but dude's wearing some Nikes, you know? You'd think that the Flash would get some kind of cool looking, you know, he's got to have some kind of cool looking shoe. That's a vital piece to his costume right there.
Right.
I love the mask though. The mask overall, I'm definitely like 5-star on the mask.
Right. I was gonna say if I was to give that a rating, I'd give that like a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. I rarely give anything a perfect score, but yeah, definitely really awesome looking so far.
I wonder if he'll have Keatonitis.
Oh yeah.
Heck.
I see. Yeah, I can see that happening because there's no cut there. Maybe that's what the collar's about.
That could be cool. About to look at my Twitter feed and see if there's anything from Gustin. So apparently there has been some kind of there was some kind of poster released.
Rocksteady has sent out new banners for a new Batman Arkham game they're supposed to be putting up the new banners around the week of March 3rd is when their banners are going to go up, and they also have slated a day, I can't remember which one it is, to release information about their latest project, which we all think is going to be a Arkham game that is a sequel to Arkham City. So hopefully that'll be cool. The banner is nothing special. They don't really tease anything. It's like the standard Batman Arkham logo, where it is the Batman symbol with Batman etched into it, and then on the outside of it, like there's like it's like on fire kind of around the bat.
Hey, we've seen fire before.
Right.
We've seen fire for the rises.
The fire rises. I'm also excited for the Arkham Origins DLC, the Cold Heart. That looks sweet. Check out the teaser for that at geekazoi.com as well.
Right, most definitely. Mr. Freeze is definitely an awesome villain. I would just really, really hope for a new game that, you know, I love the Joker, love him to death, love Bane, but come on, guys. Let's get some, like... You know, I know they tried doing some new villains in the last Origins game, but we're definitely getting, like... You know, some of the villains are being reused.
Recycled, yeah.
Recycled, and...
Like Deadshot, the Riddler, Mad Hatter.
Yeah, like...
I mean, I guess I don't mind that, because in Origins, you know, it's supposed to be, like, the first time meeting them, and then when you see them in Arkham City, you know, he's already been their nemesis for a long time, so...
Right. Well, here's a hope. With Arkham Origins, or not Arkham Origins, Arkham City, at the end of the game, or there's something hidden somewhere where Harley Quinn, like, teases a positive pregnancy test.
Oh, yeah, but don't you remember in the, it was a false positive because in the DLC for Arkham City and Harley's Revenge, they go on about that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I burst your bubble?
A little. It's okay, though. I mean, still, it'd be cool to have a sequel to Arkham City instead of like another prequel.
Yes.
And like, I mean, I know Batman's supposed to be the coolest. You know, he definitely is. But like, it would be awesome to play as Nightwing, Robin. You know, it'd be awesome if they threw Barbara. Well, Barbara's Oracle, but
Right, but in Origins, she's not.
yeah, in Origins, she's just Barbara Gordon. I thought that was really cool. I was really hoping you could play as Batgirl, but
Well, don't you remember in the Arkham City DLC you can play as Robin, and then in the challenge mode you can play as Nightwing?
in the Origins DLC.
No, the Arkham City.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I knew that. I was like, what? Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got the game of the year.
I think it would be cool if they introduced Damian in the sequel. That'd be sweet, right?
I agree. Damian. I mean, they could. I mean, for God's sake, you can play as. It'd be great to play as Jason Todd, run around as the Red Hood at some point.
That'd be great on a motorcycle if they introduce vehicles.
Oh my gosh, we've all been waiting for that. Like, come on. Come on, guys.
But don't you remember when they did that for the Batman Begins video game? When they introduced, they had like side little mini missions with the tumbler. It was so stupid. It was
Yeah,
lame.
I do remember that. I mean, it'd be better if it wasn't. It'd be cool if you had like some fast travel. I mean, the fast travel thing in the Origins was
Yes.
pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh, I appreciated that so much. I remember playing Arkham City and like being, all right, where's my next objective? Oh my God, it's all the way across the map. Ugh. It's gonna take forever to glide that far.
Right.
This is why I like Superman. I just look at him speeding bullet over there.
Right.
Like Neo in the Matrix.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But you know, it'd be cool if like, you know, Batman could like summon the Batmobile. You know, the thing could drive on its own. Come on now.
Yeah.
You can't have him like parked somewhere and then all of a sudden like, oh yeah, like, oh, there's the Batmobile.
Like use it as a weapon.
I meant like for traveling purposes. You know, like maybe they could incorporate some kind of, you know, some kind of little map where the Batmobile's supposed, you know, places through town where the Batmobile's supposed to be used. Or
right,
something.
they did that in Assassin's Creed 3. There was like an under the city. There was like a tunnel system that you could use to fast travel, and that would be cool.
Yeah.
It would also be cool, I think, of like remember in Arkham City, like there were certain points where if you like went to that point and like you could switch to play as Catwoman.
Oh yeah.
It'd be cool if you could do that with the sidekicks.
Most definitely. That'd be awesome. I mean, I get that they want, you know, like, Batman has to be the, like, coolest part of the game or else it's gonna lose its touch, but
I thought the gadgets are really cool. Those are my favorite part. Cuz like because obviously you're going to be Batman and like the coolest part about being Batman is the gadgets, I think.
I like the whole striking fear into the heart of criminals, but
that's not really a thing in the game.
No, not at all, but I don't know.
Maybe, well, sort of, because, you know, like, when you get all stealthy and shit, and you're, like, running around through grates and stuff, and you take out a whole bunch of guys, and there's always, like, one left, and he freaks out and he starts throwing away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do, like, really like the, I guess the Predator maps are probably my favorite.
Me too. I like being stealthy.
Stuff. I do like the fighting stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's just I love doing the Predator maps. Makes me want to play actually. So guys, we've decided we're gonna start doing a cover of the week each week. We're gonna pick a comic book from. Comic books are always released on Wednesdays, and we're gonna pick one of those comics. What we think is the best cover, do a little spotlight on the artist, talk about why we picked the cover. You can check that out at geekazord.com. This week's was the Superior Spider-Man number 28.
Great, had a great picture of the Goblin on it. Really.
Oh yeah.
Was he playing chess?
He's playing chess. Well, right now. I had to do a little research on it because I'm not up to date on Superior Spider-Man, but right now...
That's surprising.
Yeah, right now Superior, right now what's going on is Otto Octavius is still a Spider-Man, and the Goblin has created his own like army to combat all of these little machines and former like spider slayers that's Otto converted into gadgets to be used for Spider-Man. And what you see on the chessboard is you see all of these little green pieces standing up, and then all these red pieces that are Spider-Man's just scattered about. And the Goblin is actually holding the Spider-Man piece, which I think is pretty neat. I mean, great artwork. I mean, that just... Oh, yeah. It's by Giuseppe Camuncoli. I apologize if I drastically butchered that, but the guy does some great work.
He's guys, definitely check that out.
He's worked on Hellblazer, Dark Wolverine. I've seen him do a little bit of Flash. But yeah, check that out, guys. GeekastX.com. We'll have that posted every week.
Yeah. Cover of the week. New feature on GeekastX. Right, they can't hear me wink. I did this little thing where I pointed and winked, and I'm like, oh, they can't see that.
Right.
Alright, what's up? Oh! Finally, if you guys are all caught up on Arrow.
Oh. I have to say, guys, I felt like this past episode was a little weak. I'm not gonna lie.
But that's what they're doing, dude. They're just like, oh, we're just gonna play in the water a bit, and then the next episode, BAM! We got the Suicide Squad and Slade. Right.
I thought it was funny to see the Clock King. I did find that a little funny.
Yeah, because I've never seen him in the comics, but I do remember that episode of the animated series. I can't remember if it was Justice League or no, it was Batman, right?
It was definitely Batman the animated series.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the episode.
For the hardcore fans out there, the Clock King was also on the 1966 Batman television series with Adam West.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought that was when I saw that they're doing the Clock King. That was the first thing I thought of. And
was he similar, or because I've never seen him in the comics or anything? I don't.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen him in the comics either. I mean, they picked a great actor to play him.
Right, he played. I think he was really good. I agree. The acting was good.
But I mean, as soon as it was funny, because I forgot about the animated series part. But as soon as they said McGruber syndrome, I was like, "Where have I heard that?" And I was like, "Oh my god, he was on the animated series too." But I thought.
Oh, so he had McGruber why can't I speak English today? He had McGruber syndrome?
Or somebody, his family member, somebody, yeah. That is, yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool.
Did you, not to break from whatever, not to break from this little article or whatever, but, did you see the, Stephen Amell interview that they did on the Quiver podcast? And how he was saying that, talking about the DC animated universe as like a whole, like with the movie and like the TV, he said that he's not trying to do the like the TV version of Arrow or like the TV version of whatever or the comic book version. He's trying to do the definitive version, so that if they do try to use these guys in anything else, that it would be used as all continuity and as a whole. And I thought that was pretty cool that he mentioned that.
Oh, absolutely. I agree, because of the popularity, I don't think, I think Arrow is nowhere... I don't think they ever realized how popular it would get amongst fans.
Right.
It has exploded. Like, it is the CW now. Like, well, I mean, I know they have other shows, but it is definitely the most watched show on the CW, and that's not just comic book people watching it anymore.
You know what? I just gotta say, like, I feel like they lean... I do like Arrow a lot, but I feel like they lean heavily on Batman villains, because they can't do a Batman story, like a Batman TV show, and I feel like... I'm not bashing Arrow. I'm just saying it seems like they're using Arrow to use Batman villains because they can't have a live action Batman TV show.
Yeah, I mean they are using. I agree with you a lot. As a matter of fact, I think I might have said to you, like, are we ever going to see an episode without Batman villains? But, like, I mean, the Suicide Squad, that's not Batman. But like, they're using characters. I'm pretty positive that's like their own thing. That
Really?
might be, yeah. That's
Because I've seen Suicide Squad many times in other continuities.
Right. The Suicide Squad is... I think they're pretty broad.
Okay.
You know, they're kind of like Slade, where he's everywhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They use him in different things. I mean, like, they had in Season 1, they used the Blackhawks, but they used them as villains, which was interesting. Was definitely kind of interesting, if you ask me. I was kind of surprised by that.
They use the Blackhawks? Isn't that supposed to be like Wonder Woman's boyfriend? Remember that guy?
Steve Trevor?
Yeah.
I think I'm... Oh, gosh. Or, like, it looks terrible to be this bad about it. No, the Blackhawks are like an Air Force unit. They're a bunch of pilots that are kind of, they're like the specialty team. And Arrow used them as bank robbers, I think. Or like, well, it was one of, if you remember the episode, it was like Diggle's former sergeant or something. And they're kind of like mercenaries, I guess.
Oh, yes, I do remember. I thought you got that confused. I was sitting there, I'm like...
I did get that confused with...
Royal Flush Gang.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about, where like they would have the guys driving like an armored vehicle or whatever, then all of a sudden a guy would walk out with a grenade launcher.
Yeah, that's them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Diggle didn't want any part of it.
Right. We've seen a lot less Diggle lately. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, yeah, I know. He seems to be just hanging out in the cave. I think they're trying to focus right now on the relationship between Ollie and Sarah a little bit, and how Felicity's a little bit jealous of them. But let's not get into that.
Yeah, that was...
We're really excited for that action, though. We're finally going to see Slade, do some damage. Really, sorry, go ahead.
At the end of that episode, I mean, I'll be honest, most of the time I feel like I can see stuff kind of coming, but I was not ready for that one. I was like, what? Like, it's Slade! Like, as soon as, like, I was not expecting that at the end.
Really? When she put 911 or whatever, I kind of suspected, like, something was amiss, and I didn't expect Slade, though. I was like, oh, that's a cool surprise.
That was Thea trying to get him to go home and talk to her mom.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I wasn't sure if something was really going on or not,
Right. Well, I mean, when she was like, when they got home and they're like, oh, Thea's not here, and he's just like, and then she's like, but I'm in a meeting, and she starts walking in this room. I'm like,
when she said she was in a meeting, I suspected something like why wouldn't they show who she's in a meeting with? Who are we going to get revealed right now? Who is this?
Right, and then it's Slade, and you're just like, yes.
But then the teaser, when basically, I forgot who said it. Maybe it was like Felicity or someone. They're like, oh, basically he's like, I'm going to kill your whole family. I'm like, whoa, what? That's a little dark.
Hey, I mean, that's Slade Wilson for you.
He is the Terminator.
Right. It is. I think it's pretty awesome that.
I hope this show lasts a while, because they recently canceled Being Human, and that was the other show I only watched.
Oh my God! Right. That sucks.
I died a little inside.
Man, I couldn't believe that. I was like, what? I mean, I get it, my girlfriend was like, well, it is vampires and werewolves, and that's like everything everybody sees anymore.
But they have a new show called Bitten with werewolves in it on Sci-Fi. Yeah, they got the new lead guy, new CEO or whatever, to run the channel. this year, and that was his first cut, and I was just so like angered by it. I'm like, what? Are you serious? The British version got 5 seasons.
Right.
And I was wondering if maybe like if the British season got 5 seasons, and what like continuity stuff they were borrowing from that, maybe they just condensed it down so that the US version would have 4 seasons.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I
never watched. I watched a little bit of the. Sorry, go ahead.
I've heard that. I haven't watched any of the UK version either, but I've heard that. Like the first episodes. I mean, you watch the first episode of the UK version, you're like, oh my god, this is the exact same thing. But I've heard they're like equally different shows.
Really?
Yeah. After.
Because I only watched the first like 3 episodes. I'm like, this is the same thing, and I like the US version better.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes the UK television gets just like, as I know this is so ignorant to say, but like as an American, sometimes it's hard to understand them, and that just gets frustrating for me. But I don't know. I love Sherlock though.
I'm digging that. I like Sherlock too.
Oh my gosh, there's not going to be a season 4 for 2 years.
Yeah,
like,
that is one thing
serious?
I think is weird. But dude, you got to think about it. Like, Benedict Cumberbatch is like super rising star right now, and like people want him to be in everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, he wants to be a Sith Lord. I'll wait for sure.
Also, like, the one thing I like is how long the episodes are, because I'll be watching some shows and be like, no, keep going. I don't want to wait a week.
I know we're going off topic here.
Yeah, the seasons are really short, though.
The seasons are short, the episodes are long, but one of the things about Sherlock that makes it cool is, like, we talk about Arrow's awesome because it gives so much, like, back to the comic books.
Right. I also like Arrow because of how like involved Stephen Amell is with his fans.
Right. What I'm saying about Sherlock is so, if you look like I was just looking up some stuff about Sherlock Holmes the other day, and
as you normally do.
Yeah.
On my Wednesday evenings.
I'm looking stuff up, and they are very true. No matter how much they've like brought it up to like the modern continuity, they are very true to the original stuff that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote. I mean, the first episode is called
A Study in Pink.
A Study in Pink, right? The first book, Sherlock Holmes book, is called A Study in Scarlet, and it's about a woman that was, I believe it's about a woman that was murdered while wearing red. And they modified that.
Right. I like that too.
For example, John Watson is his biographer. He writes, in the original, a lot of the original stories, they're told from different points of view, but most of the time it's Watson's point of view, and he writes a blog about Sherlock that people read, Wait,
are you sure? Because I think Sherlock writes his own blog called The Science of Deduction or whatever, and he's always posting on it.
Sean, I completed all 3 seasons.
Of Sherlock?
Yeah, I watched all of them.
Oh, shit. I've only seen
episode.
I'm only on like episode 3, season 1.
Yeah, but okay, you get into that. Sherlock does.
Am I
have
wrong
his own
though?
blog.
Oh, okay.
Well, that brings up. You are slightly wrong. No, you're not wrong. But like Sherlock wrote, the difference is like people want to read what Watson writes. Sherlock, they mentioned something about him writing like a blog about like 343 different types of tobacco or something, and he actually does that in like the books. Like he's actually published stuff on like tobacco and you know, his just the you know, the whole thing with like him smoking is hilarious in the show. Like he was an actual smoker in the books. You know, yeah, he claims to be quitting, but you know, he goes. If you continue watching, you'll see he prefers to have his cigarettes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was a funny like alternative. Like instead of having a pipe, he has the patch. I thought that was a little ironic. Like, oh, it's kind of like a PSA, but I also thought it was funny that that was the alternative that they chose for the show.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. I really don't want to tell you too much because there's stuff that is like glaringly obvious. But you know, with like Moriarty, you know, I mean, that's of course always been the big Sherlock arch nemesis. You know, if you watch Robert Downey Jr.'s version, you know, Moriarty is a criminal, but they don't name him a consulting criminal in that movie like they did in, you know, that's what they call, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle really called him a consulting detective and called Moriarty a consulting criminal, you know? Just stuff like that is just really cool to see. You know, I mean, Sherlock is just, it's very, very, very close to just the original. You know, there's just like it's great to like see that. It makes me want to read the original stuff, but I just think those little subtle things are pretty awesome about it. I mean, Irene Adler's in it. I know you haven't seen her yet, but she's coming.
Oh, she's in the show too? That's cool.
Yeah, she's in season 2.
Oh. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I speak very highly of the show. It's very well done, very modernized version of the classic version. I really like it. It's cool stuff.
Irene Adler. Okay, that's a difference between the Robert Downey Jr. and Sherlock. Is Irene Adler is much more closer to her original character than she is. She was like a thief or something, you know, like a really good thief. She was much more closer to the original in the show.
I mean, she was a thief in the movie.
She's a thief in the movie. She's a little different in the book, though, or in the show.
All right.
Actually, she's completely different, but you know, I'm just trying not to.
Can't wait. All right, yeah, that's all right. Well, let's get off the Sherlock Holmes so we don't accidentally spoil something. Harold Ramis died. But like, I don't.
Oh gosh.
We don't really have to talk about that. You want to get onto the Matrix trilogy?
Well, let's give the man a proper shout out. You know, like, I mean. You know, people remember him as Egon
Spankler.
Yeah, Egon Spankler.
Spangler.
I'm sorry, but you know, this guy was an actor. He was a director,
comedic genius.
Comedic genius. I mean, he did. You go look at his IMDb page, all of you, or IMDb page, and I mean, didn't he write Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I think him and Dan Aykroyd co-wrote it, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
we really lost a legend.
He wrote Caddyshack. He wrote Stripes. Like, I mean, he wrote Animal House. Like
National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yep. I mean,
but yeah, he was definitely a staple in my childhood, and when I read that he had passed, like, it hit me hard. But you know, I got over. I don't want to say I got over it, but it is what it is, and I can't change that. But I'll remember him forever.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I do like all the like geeks and stuff banding together, making various Ghostbuster tribute pictures and stuff like that. They're very, you know, heartwarming, and yeah, I do enjoy seeing those. Also, we wrote a little article about Harold Ramis' passing on Geekozoid.com.
Did you feel a little dirty, like, writing that? Like, I suggested that because I was like, maybe it'll make Sean feel a little better, you know? And I was like, maybe that'll just help him, you know? But, like, I was just kind of thinking about it. I was like, we're going to link that, and, like, I don't know. It's not like anybody did any different, you know?
Right, I wanted to put in the link, like, normally we're not on an obituary site, but this guy was a hero.
Ah! That's terrible, but yeah.
I wrote this with my tears.
There are tears on my keyboard as we speak.
Right, like I had to aim my tears to drop onto letters in which I needed to type this article.
As long as you didn't cross the streams.
No, yeah, man. You don't want any total protonic reversal and burn your face off. Alright, Matrix trilogy. There might be a new Matrix trilogy in the works, is what we're hearing from the Wachowski brothers. Because at the end of the original one, they showed the programmer guy saying that Neo was not the first one, and I say that with quotation marks.
It says that in the second one too.
Oh, he does?
Are you a Matrix fan? I'm not positive.
I'm not like a die-hard Matrix lore, you know. I mean, I've seen them all and I enjoy them all, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, man. Like, you know how like Star Trek geeks are all like, no man, remember on episode 44 or whatever, when they're in the lounge of the Glorlax or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like that, but I'm like, yeah, that was an enjoyable movie.
Okay.
I enjoyed the scene where they did this.
I would say that I wear the Matrix pants in this relationship then.
Okay.
I love the Matrix. Absolutely love it.
Oh, yeah, wait. I just wanted to go on to say that when he said that Neo was not the first one, it really opened the door for, like, you know, storylines for prequels, and looks like we might have those in the works.
Absolutely. I mean, he tells Neo, you know, you are a program, you know, and there's fan theories out there that, you know, Neo is actually a machine, you know, because you think, I mean, like, you watch, okay, we can all agree. Let me explain. We can all agree that the movies get worse and worse as they go along. The first movie, classic, never gonna change. The second one, love it for the action, love it for like the constant like Neo battles. The third one, you know, a lot of it takes place on Zion. It takes a long time to build up for that final battle. You know, it's, you know, Neo. They tell Neo that there, you know, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's kind of bullshit. They tell Neo that, like, how is he able to control the machines outside of the Matrix? You know, like, how is that possible? You know, how the hell can he control the machines outside of the Matrix if he is, you know, part of... Well, there's a fan theory out there that he's actually a machine, kind of like the Terminator, and that's how he can do it. You know, because they say in the movie it comes from the source. What is the source, exactly? Like, how is the source, like, something that doesn't... They never explain that fully in the movie, which is kind of disappointing.
Jake.
Yeah, yes.
The Matrix is all about, like, machines and programs, right?
Yes.
Dude, if you right-click on anything, you can scroll down to a box that says View Source. That is where the source is. You idiot!
Whatever, that is not it. But yeah, like, you know, they can open up this entire door, but, you know, are the Wachowski brothers just, like, grasping at straws? I mean, is there anything they're ever going to do better than The Matrix? Probably not. But, like, they have come out. I mean, they did V for Vendetta. Glorious movie.
I love that movie.
Oh, I mean, amazing movie. But we can all agree
phenomenal.
But they didn't come up with that screenplay all on their own.
Oh, yeah.
That's an Alan Morris story. So, what exactly are we going to... You know, The Matrix is a beautiful idea, but come on. Speed Racer? Like...
They did Speed Racer? I hated that movie.
Yep, they sure did. Like...
They could have done that so much better. It's like, oh, we did The Matrix with, like, awesome graphics and CGI work and crap like that, but obviously they're like, oh, why don't we do it again with Speed Racer? And, like, the whole movie felt like it was, like, just guys on a green screen. It was so awful.
I mean, let's just hope if you're gonna make another Matrix trilogy, let's at least do it right, you know? I mean, they did not... I mean, I get that there has to be some kind of battle on Zion or something, but what made the movie cool was what happened in the Matrix.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
The
Defying
entire,
gravity and stuff like that.
the entire point, the most basic bottom line to the Matrix is, I mean, it's this common movie theme, but it is your reality is not what it seems, and. Right. You know, when they take away that reality, things get a little iffy. I mean, it was a cool, you know, great trilogy, but, like, definitely got worse as it went along. I mean...
I agree, yeah. Quality. It also seemed kind of like, a little bit, like, sacrilegious, or, like, kind of like the message behind it all was kind of, like, stupid after the first movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of, you know, I mean... At the end, you know, the very end, there's, you know, they have the kind of like Jesus thing where Neo sacrifices himself for all the, you know, he sacrifices himself to save Zion, you know, but, you know, I'm watching that movie with my friend Danny, and, you know, he's like hearing this part about the soup spoon. He's like, that's some crazy Buddha shit, man. You know? I was like, yeah, it is. You know, and they mixed all those religion things together. They put a lot in there all at once that was not necessarily... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
We can't exactly repeat that.
Yeah.
So, what will the new Matrix be? I mean, yeah, it's cool people running around in sunglasses and black suits and
doing kung fu,
like it's nothing,
mucking stuff up,
right? I mean,
flying,
and you don't hear yourself saying, "Oh, remember that part where the dude on Zion shot the machine?" Like, no, you don't hear that.
No, talking about... Yeah, do you remember that? Hey, man, do you remember that time on Zion where they had that like electromagnetic pulse thing, and then like the tentacle things like totally fell off the ship? No, nope. You don't hear that. Because no one cares about that.
That dance scene on Zion, though.
Oh, that rave? Yeah, the rave?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then Neo and Trinity totally bang?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the first time for them, though.
Do you think Neo used more than one of those holes?
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. All right. And on that, we'll wrap. We'll wrap that up.
Oh, God.
You don't need a condom when you're banging in one of those... I don't know what you'd call it, USB ports.
Do you think they have condoms on Zion?
Why would... Yeah, they're probably made of, like, goat skin or leather.
That would not be comfortable.
No, it would not. Alright.
Yeah, come on, Wachowski brothers, let's see something.
Show us something new.
Right. Not Speed Racer. Just anything but that.
Okay. Alright, geeks, that's going to wrap this episode of GeekastX up. Be sure to check out geekazoid.com for more episodes of the GeekastX and the latest news on geek stuff. And, this is a greatest installment, or, I don't know, good news for the GeekastX. We are officially on iTunes, so be sure to subscribe to us there to download directly to your iPod the latest episodes of GeekastX. Catch you next time.